Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start with the first chapter of psychology, variations in psychological attributes. If we observe our friends, classmates, or relatives, we will find that how they differ from each other, the way they perceive, learn, think, etc. So, in this chapter, we are going to study about how we differ from each other on various psychological attributes. It is said that variability is a fact of nature. Human beings vary in terms of physical and psychological characteristics. Physically, we vary in terms of strength, color, hair color, weight, etc. Talking about psychological characteristics, we vary from each other in terms of our intelligence, personality, creativity, etc. Next, we come to define about what is actually individual differences. Individual differences refer to distinctiveness and variations among each other in terms of our personality, in terms of our behavioral patterns. So we know that we all are as individual different from each other, and these different features in totality is known as individual differences. Now there's another term which explains why we behave differently, that is situationism. The situationism states that our situations and circumstances influence our own behavior. So, for example, if a person is very aggressive, he or she can also behave in a very submissive manner in the presence of a top boss. So, our circumstances actually influence our behavior. So, if we want to relate it with present scenario in COVID-19, so we can see that there may be many people who do not like to even sit at home. They just like they are very extrovert and they like to go out with others. But now the situation is such, the circumstances is such that they are behaving in an introvert manner. Why? Because of the situation. Next, we come to psychological assessment. What is actually psychological assessment? Psychological assessment means that we are measuring a person psychological attributes. It is obviously refers to the measurement of psychological attributes and evaluation of many other characteristics in an individual's personality. So obviously psychological assessment, as we have studied in class 11th also, it uses systematic testing procedures to evaluate abilities, behaviors, etc. of individuals. It is of two types: formal assessment and informal assessment. We had already studied about it, that formal assessment includes evaluation in which the evaluation is objective in nature. For example, if I am measuring the intelligence of a person and another teacher also intelligence using the same test of the same individual, the result is going to be same, almost same, right? And formal assessment uses standardized measure of assessing something, whereas in an informal assessment, it is very subjective in nature. For example, I can assess that this person is of this personality, some other can make a judgment that this person is of this personality. So it is very subjective in nature. It does not use standardized procedures, plus it is not objective in nature. Generally, if you see that psychologists use formal procedures, they used objective measures, or they use formal assessment. Informal assessment is generally done by our parents, our friends, our teachers, etc. Why is assessment important in psychology? What is its significance? It's a very important question. First of all, it predicts future behavior. Yes, if I assess that person is very intelligent, then uh, we will be able to predict that person's future behavior, that he or she will be able to do good in academic performance. Or if a person is very aggressive, we can predict that in this situation that person will be behaving in this manner. Second is intervening a change if behavior is undesirable. Yes, obviously, if we assess that a person's behavior is very disturbing, or is very, very, undesirable, then we can help him to change the behavior. It also helps in assessing a person's strengths and weakness. It helps us to know about a person's characteristics. And last but not the least, the assessment is now required in recruitment and selection process. Now there are various dimensions which we're going to study in the chapter, that is intelligence, aptitude, interest, personality, values. So now we're going to start with the dimensions.